This video is the first video in a series going over the currency strength index. This video I'm going to show you the methods and the mechanics behind what I use to trade. Future videos in this playlist will be actual live strategies that I have adopted and I've been using for many years to pull money from the markets. Now, those are exciting videos because they're showing a lot of charts and a lot of profits. This video you need to watch first to understand the mechanics behind how I trade the currency strength index. Now, I've been trading for many years, and online is just full of so much garbage, for lack of a better word, and the only thing that truly moves the market is the indexes. That is the true mover of the markets, not all this other fancy terminology that you see in videos that are edited fancy and to capture a viewership. So here we see the major currencies of the world's major economies: Great British Pound, US dollar, the euro, the Swiss franc, Japanese yen, Australian dollar and New Zealand dollar. Now these are all the major economies of the world. Now if you think Tesla and Apple stocks and indices such like the Dow Jones, Nasdaq, S&P, they can all trend for a year and go to the moon. Forex doesn't do that, and the reason it doesn't do that is because they need to come back to equilibrium, they need to rebalance. That is why you need to pay attention to the currency strength index, especially for strategies like mean reversion. They need to come back to the mean. If you don't understand what that is they need to come back to a balance, a fair price, because these countries are doing business with each other, or organisations, companies within these countries. As an example, I've wrote down here, industries actively trading the euro JPY, for example, include banking, investment firms, commodity traders, large corporations, especially in sectors like automotive, tech and manufacturing, Toyota, Sony, Panasonic, Siemens and Volkswagen. That's not to mention all the raw commodities and stuff. So here we have Euro USD, okay? Now you may be aware of the dollar index for the USD, which is DXY, okay? So this is the true strength of the dollar paired against nothing. It doesn't have a partner, it's just an index. And this index is determined, the strength of this index is determined by all the transactions that happens. So the strength of this dollar is determined by the business it does with all these other economies, okay? Not just the euro, okay? Not just the euro. So let's say you're sitting, done your technical analysis, and you're sitting and you're going to go, let's say you're going to go short on euro USD. Something massive can be happening in the background with one of these economies which makes the euro go up. That's the only thing that moves. It's called foreign exchange for a reason. All the foreign countries are constantly exchanging money, and it does not care about support, resistance, order blocks, fair value gaps. Yes, these are all things that print as a byproduct of the economies doing business together. So if you look at Euro USD, for example, what moves the euro is transactions between the euro and the USD, transactions between Euro Great British Pound, JPY, CHF, AUD and Euro NZD. All this here affects the euro, okay? And if you were to replace euro here with USD, pairing USD with all these economies, that is what moves the dollar, okay? That is the true market mover of the dollar. So, currency strength index. I have done a video on the strategy used by Sergey Malaga, who is the multiple time champion of the Gold Cup, Forex and Futures. And Sergey uses the currency strength index, you can see it here. And you may have watched several of my videos. This is one of my main strategies. I'm going to cover several different strategies I use, all based off the currency strength index. But you can see here, at the bottom of this chart here, each one of these lines represents the currency index. So you can see the label flashing here. And no matter what currency pair I'm on, I can see the strength of the JPY. If I switch to Euro GBP, I can still see the strength of JPY. If I switch to USD CAD, I can still see the strength of JPY. This indicator is beautiful because it shows you, no matter what screen you're on, the strength of each currency index, and that is a true mover of the market. There is a video in this playlist and on the FTSE strategy by Sergey Malaga, and I will obviously do another strategy. So the way my trading is set up is everything is based off the currency strength index. I trade a mean reversion off of this. I trade the FTSE currency strength index off this. I trade pullbacks off this. But these are all encapsulated inside the one thesis, which is currency strength index. Okay? Once you understand the currency strength index, you will then be able to build out various different strategies off the back of it. And you don't need to go jumping from indicator to indicator. You can stay on the one time frame and everything is there, clear as day. So if we come back here to the dollar index, we can see here it's in an upward trajectory here. You also have an index for the Canadian dollar, CXY. You also have an index for the Australian dollar, AXY, BXY for the British pound, EXY for the euro, JXY for the Japanese yen, and so on and so on and so on. So we are going to, in the next videos, build out strategies and show you live results and live trades, all based off currency strength index. So if we go back to this screen here, you can see how much has been moved here per day in each of these markets. The numbers are eye-watering, they are astronomical. This is what moves the markets, not retail traders like me and you. It is institutional trading that moves the markets. Obviously there's hedge funds as well, but this is the true mover of the market. And once you understand the currency strength index, you can have a bias. You can go into the market with a bias, and that will go a long way. You can then look for setups, and we will cover these in videos on strategies, but this is really going to help you, and it's going to help you basically lose a lot less trades and win a lot more trades. So thank you for watching this video. In the next video we will go into strategies adopted using the currency strength index.